Hi, what do you want to be when you grow up? That's a question that you've probably been asked a lot. It's also a question that for many of us is really hard to answer, and that's okay. But you're going to be making a lot of decisions that can affect your future career goals, such as what classes will I sign up for? What clubs do I want to join? Will I participate in that job shadowing day or a career cafe or a volunteer experience that comes my way? These are all opportunities for you to learn about a career. And as educators, what we want is for you to find that career path that is suited for you based on things that you like to do and things that you don't like to do. So let's start exploring careers now, and let's hear from some of the experts in their field about what their career is all about.
Hello, McDowell County students. I am glad to share my career with you. So my name is Angie Highsmith, and I am a bioprocess scientist. So as a bioprocess scientist, I am in charge of figuring out the best way to grow the human cells that we use outside of the human body. And I work for a company called Dysgenics, and we are seeking to use adult-derived stem cells to treat degenerative disc diseases of the spine. And a day in my career can include working in the lab to grow cells in bioreactors, which are vessels that are heat controlled and pH and oxygen controlled to try to mimic the environment of the body. I'm in the laboratory a lot. I use microscopes a lot to make sure that the cells are growing properly. I also count the cells quite often just to make sure that they're growing in the environments that we put them in. I also collect a lot of data in the lab to make sure that the cells are going to do what we want them to do inside of the human body. And I also analyze a lot of data. So I do a lot of desk work just to make sure that we're on the right track and that we're moving forward with how we're growing the cells and that the process is always improving. So if somebody is interested in this career, there are certain educational requirements that you need to have. So you should have a degree in a STEM field. So that's science, technology, engineering, or math. So mine was in biology, but a lot of people that I work with also have degrees in chemistry, biotechnology, bioengineering, or just engineering. And so for my specific job title, in order to be a scientist, you should have at least a master's degree. And if you wanted to work in a lab, just as a regular scientist, or just helping out a scientist, you might only need a bachelor's degree in a STEM field. So a couple of the people on my team, they have degrees, just bachelor's degrees in chemistry and biology. So there are many pros to my career. My career is really interesting. So I'm always discovering new things, and it's really cool when you're working in science and you can discover something that nobody else has discovered before. So I really enjoy that about my job. That's probably number one. Number two is, every day is different, which is great. There's a lot of variety. In my job, everything changes from day to day, so that's really nice. I'm always learning and building up new skills, which is really good for my resume. So there's always new things that I'm learning in the lab, new techniques that I can put on my resume to propel my career forward. I tend to like my coworkers, so everywhere that I've worked, I've had really interesting and smart coworkers. So it's really nice to be able to get along with people you have common interests with. my job is also really fulfilling in that, you know, I'm working towards a goal that I know will help millions of people in alleviating their pain. So, yeah, it's really nice to have a job that you love, and I really love my job. There's only a couple of cons to my job that I can think of. So, the first one is that it really is a lot of work. Um, so some days I'm working in the lab really late. You know, I'll work from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. sometimes, just trying to get these experiments going. But once the experiment has started, you know, the days are normal after that. So it's usually only like once a month that I have to work a really long day or two. Um, and another thing about my job, which could be considered a con, um, is that it's really tedious. So science in general, I think you're just going to run into a lot of repetitive things. So, you know, anything in science is just, you have to have replicates, you have to do things over and over again just to make sure that your data is real and you're actually observing the patterns that you are observing. So that's about it, and good luck.